An affordable housing plan in Venice now off the table. What the developer wanted that didn't sit well with the city.
Sarasota County Jail bursting at the seams. What the sheriff is doing to help repeat offenders turn their lives around.
And investigators keep tweaking the timeline of the mass shooting in Las Vegas. Your Suncoast News starts right now.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at 5. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Good evening, I'm Jacqueline Matter.
I'm Scott Dennis. Thanks so much for being with us tonight. Topping our news, the push for more affordable housing in Venice is dealt a major setback.
A local developer who had hoped to build a complex on Knights Trail is now backing out. The reason, not being able to get enough tax breaks for that project. ABC 7's Christopher Brantley joins us now live with some of the breaks that the developer had in mind. Christopher?
Well, good evening. This is the property the developer had hoped to build on, but he was met with some opposition. And as we said, it wasn't so much against the project itself, more to do with some of his requests. The announcement came at the end of Tuesday's city council meeting. Mayor John Hollick telling council members developer Edward Pinto had backed out.
And I asked him why, and he said that when he originally approached the city on this, he said that there are certain things that had to be done.
But some of those things could not be done. For example, Pinto wanted city permits and utilities fees waived.
We cannot waive the utilities connections fees. We cannot waive the permit fees.
Mayor Hollick wanted the project to go through, but ultimately, if the fees were waived, the taxpayers would have ended up with the bill. New developers are also required to pay a tax called an impact fee. Pinto had requested the impact fee be waived as well, but that did not have the support of local homeowners. John Mokel is president of the Venetian Walk and River Club.
We are against waiving the impact fees. There was about $7.6 million for this one project that could have been waived.
Homeowners were concerned taxpayers would lose out on the $7 million while the developer profits off the housing complex. Local homeowners wanted to make very clear they support affordable housing, and they believe it's desperately needed. What they don't want is a loss of city revenue.
We are not opposed to affordable housing from the community association perspective.
Now, we did want to ask the developer some questions, so we did reach out to him earlier today, but have not yet heard back. Live in Venice, Christopher Brantley, ABC 7, your Suncoast News.
All right, thank you, Christopher. Tonight, Venice police are investigating a domestic disturbance and arson case. Police were called to a home on Elaine Street last night. That's where officers say Melvin DeWayne attacked a woman at that home. When police arrived, they say DeWayne had already left the area. The Sarasota County Sheriff's Office, a canine unit, and a helicopter Air 1 were called in. DeWayne was found several hours later, around 2:30 this morning.
As we were dealing with him, we saw fire trucks going by. And we learned later that there was a fire at the residence, and there was a pile of clothes burning that had been ignited, which ultimately ignited the vehicle parked in the driveway.
The state fire marshal was on scene and is beginning an investigation on that fire.
The Sarasota County Jail is almost at capacity, but the issue isn't a higher crime rate in the community. Instead, it's drug addicts who are serving longer felony sentences. Sheriff Tom Knight presented the issue to county commissioners this week. The solution is to either build a new jail, estimated to cost about $80 million, or reduce the number of inmates. Sheriff Knight says he supports creating diversion recovery programs that would help the repeat drug offenders get help and stay out of jail. Knight estimates a rehab program could free up to 100 beds. There are already similar programs in place to help convicted criminals get back on their feet after committing misdemeanor crimes.
We have a safe community. Our crime keeps dropping, so these programs are working. We're not seeing any impact by doing diversion programs. And at the end of the day, we have over 930 people in the jail, and it's cheaper to do the programs in diversion than it is to build a jail.
County commissioners say they are open to the idea of sentences that involve less jail time and more recovery time. Each commissioner plans to meet with the sheriff one-on-one to talk about the options.
Well, certainly another hot day out there today. It was scorching almost.
Yep.
Well, let's check in with First Alert weather meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, right now we are looking at some nice weather out there, 87 degrees, and we have a few clouds around the dew point temperature at 70, which isn't too bad. Winds out of the northeast at 8, and the Pressure is 29.93. That is falling ever so slightly at this hour, but all in all, a pretty decent day. Just temperatures a couple degrees above average. Some showers down to our south right now, and we are going to see that humidity on the increase, especially on Friday as some moisture returns to the Suncoast. But right now, just 1 or 2 lone showers out there dancing across the skies, moving to the west at around 10 to 15 miles an hour. You can see some action in between Anna Maria and Pinellas County right now, moving off toward the west. Could clip the northern end of Anna Maria Island. Also, 1 lone shower right there at State Road 70 and 301 or near there, heading off to the west, and 1 or 2 lone showers, sprinkles if you will, out there in the Gulf of Mexico. Well, we have this upper level feature which continues to work its way basically to the west southwest, and it will bring an increasing chance for showers and storms our way, but that'll happen mainly on Friday and continue into the weekend. There's no chance of that developing, but temperatures currently into the upper 80s to low 90s at this hour. 90 in Venice and 90 in Englewood. It is beautiful out in the waters today. 84-degree water temperature now, 90 in Punta Gorda, 89 in Arcadia, and 89 at Lake Placid. Well, in the tropics, we have the 10th consecutive now hurricane. Its name is Ophelia. It has now been bumped up to a hurricane status with 75-mile-an-hour winds. It is moving again off toward the northeast eventually. We'll talk more about it as well as the rest of the tropics coming up in just a few minutes. Let you know about our rain chances for the weekend in just a few. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. We're learning new details about the minutes leading up to last week's mass shooting in Las Vegas. A clearer timeline now raising questions on whether better communication could have allowed police to respond more quickly. ABC's Scott Goldberg explains.
Today, the Mandalay Bay Hotel released to the public some of the first radio calls about gunman Stephen Paddock from maintenance worker Stephen Shook, who was fired on by the shooter as he approached the suite. Gunshots heard in the background.
Call the police. Someone's firing a gun up here. Someone's firing a rifle on the 32nd floor down the hallway. Copy. Hey, it's on 32. Stephen got away.
According to police, this was at least 6 minutes before Paddock began firing down onto the thousands of concert-goers below.
He wants to know if you know a room. It's at the end of the hallway. I can't tell you what room. He looked like he fired down the hallway when I got close to the door.
This new audio adding to the questions about whether the hotel could have done more in those 6 minutes to stop the shooter from carrying out his plan.
In those 6 minutes, you may have been able to create a disruption of some sort that would have kept him from doing what he ultimately did.
And now one of the shooter's victims, 21-year-old college student Paige Gasper, filing a lawsuit against multiple parties, including the resort and Paddock's estate.
For 6 minutes, nothing happened, and then this criminal started shooting at these innocent people. So the timeline is extremely crucial, and it's going to be a big focus of the lawsuit and the investigation.
In a statement today, MGM Resorts praises its employees and pledges support to the victims, but offers no further clarification about what unfolded that night. Scott Goldberg, ABC News, New York.
A big fundraiser for hurricane victims in Puerto Rico will kick off in Sarasota in just a couple of hours. The group's First Relief of Puerto Rico, the Puerto Rico Chamber of Commerce of Florida, DK Dance Creations, and SRQ Florida Helps Puerto Rico are all taking part in the event. There will be speakers, live music, food and drinks for sale. The groups are asking for a $10 minimum donation at the door, and 100% of the proceeds will go towards the Puerto Rico Relief Fund. It will start at 7 o'clock at the Payne Park Auditorium in downtown Sarasota.
Well, we're used to hearing about the ways that FEMA helps Floridians, but now the agency is asking for some help. The Federal Emergency Management Agency wants to hire people in Florida to help assist in the disaster recovery effort in the aftermath of Hurricane Irma. They are paid temporary positions that include customer service, IT specialists, translators, and more. The new hires will join the recovery team that is already in place.
The group Realize Bradenton now has a lot more money to expand a popular public park along the Manatee River. The group recently received a $100,000 grant from the John S. and James L. Knight Foundation Donor Advised Fund of the Manatee Community Foundation. That money will be used for the expansion project of the Bradenton River Walk. Realize Bradenton plans to work with community members to develop ideas that will best showcase public art, culture, and history of the area. Beautiful spot on the Suncoast.
Yeah, it'll be put to some good use as well.
Yeah. Still to come in your Suncoast News tonight, massive wildfires in California putting more lives and buildings in danger. We'll take a look at the devastation so far.
And Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan will be back with your first alert forecast, plus the therapy that could soon be used to treat blindness. Those stories coming up.
Hamilton was adopted from a rescue in 2008. He really likes to be around people. And as soon as I start to make my breakfast, Hamilton is right there. I get out my mat and I'm doing a downward dog and he's underneath. He's quite the pug about town. He gets invited to a lot of parties. He knows he's a pretty big deal. I mean, look at this little face. How could you not love him?
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
During the past 10 years, Tidewell Hospice volunteers have provided more than 1 million hours of service. They sit with patients, giving caregivers a break. They work in offices. They take their furry friends on pet therapy visits. They even clown around. Every task performed by a volunteer makes a difference in the lives of our patients and their families. Join Tidewell's volunteer team. They're truly 1 in a million. Tidewell Hospice. It's more than you think.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful. That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Now to the growing wildfires that continue to tear across Northern California this evening.
Officials say at least 21 people have died so far. Firefighters are spread thin, trying to stay ahead of the fires. ABC's Maggie Rulli shows us what conditions are like tonight in Santa Rosa, California.
Firefighters are up against one of California's most destructive and deadly outbreak of wildfires. From the ground and an air assault from above, a race against time and thinning resources.
I think it'll be one of the worst disasters in California history.
At least 22 fires are burning across the state. We're now seeing what it was like for the first firefighters who responded, battling against a wall of flames as they rapidly approached Sonoma County.
There was this huge roar of the flames, and that's when I knew you're out of here.
The blaze ripping through entire neighborhoods, charring up more than 170,000 acres and forcing thousands to evacuate.
It was just a mad dash. It was chaos.
Officials reporting at least 550 people are still unaccounted for in Sonoma County, and authorities confirm multiple deaths across the state.
It's with sorrow that I tell you today that we have confirmed 2 fatalities. Charles and Sarah Rippey, ages 198.
They'd been together for 75 years. At least 2,000 homes and businesses decimated.
Yeah, everybody you've ever known, everybody I grew up with, everybody's house is gone. It's absolutely nuts.
Wineries and hotels in Napa and Sonoma County burned to the ground. In Santa Rosa, newly homeless residents returning to where their homes once stood find nothing.
Firefighters here were starting to get the upper hand, but high wind and dry air are expected to return today, and new red flag warnings have been issued for this afternoon, meaning there could be more devastation for this community. Maggie Rulli, ABC News, Santa Rosa, California.
Those photos just heartbreaking to see.
Devastating. You know, you think about a hurricane. Hurricane can destroy a roof or side of a home. You can put that and build that back, but the homes that you see right there are not going to be able to be repaired. It's terrible news. And on top of that, they mentioned the winds. It only takes about a double-digit wind to start having those embers fly around and reignite the fires, and that's already starting to happen again. Looks like through this evening up there in California. It's tough going for those folks there. For us, we've had a few very brief showers around. Not much at all going on in our rain. Van Wezel webcam showing a beautiful day out on the bay today. Just a few clouds down again. I was out there with Captain Johnny, and not much going on as far as the seas, too. They were less than 2 feet. Just an east wind. You saw that one shower go by right at the end there. You can still see it off in the distance there on Wednesday at 5:15. Looking at the time, and you can see this picture and photo was sent in near right there, Lido, as you can see that rain off in the Gulf, moving away. Raymond sending this in from Lido. Appreciate it, Raymond. And you can see the rainfall down to our south and into Cuba. That's where a trough of low pressure, really, if you will, an upper level low feature spinning across the Bahamas, extending down through the Straits of Florida, will continue to march off to the southwest and eventually get into the Gulf of Mexico, southwest Gulf of Mexico. So it should not be a big player, but what it will do, it will increase our moisture availability. And that will increase our rain chances. Not so much on Thursday, but more so on Friday and continuing into the weekend. It's not going to be a washout, though. We will see scattered showers and a few thunderstorms, it appears, right through Sunday, and then Monday maybe tapering off a little bit. But summer is going to stick around, too, it looks like. We're not looking at any big fall-like temperatures moving on in anytime soon. It may get a little bit cooler, maybe back to average by Thursday or Wednesday and Thursday of next week. But for the most part, temperatures will stay at average or slightly above it for the next few days. And you can see that rain right now near Whitfield Avenue, stretching just to the west of US 301, heading toward the west, toward Bayshore Gardens. So get ready for a brief sprinkle there along US 41 in between Cortez and the airport. 87 degrees. Currently, it's a few clouds around. The dew point temperature is comfortable at 70. Winds are out of the northeast at 8 miles an hour. The pressure 2993. That has been falling ever so slightly throughout the afternoon. The high today was in the upper 80s. Tomorrow, pretty similar conditions. The rain chances less than 20%. So if you have anything planned outdoors, should not be a problem. We're going to see a sprinkle or two late in the afternoon, but come Friday afternoon and Friday evening, there's a chance for a little bit more widespread rain. This is the Futurecast, looking at what may happen tomorrow afternoon. And you can see by the rain here depicted by these green dots here, showing down to our south, mainly a few showers in the inland counties, but not much going on here. And then even on Friday, we start to see an increase, though. It moves up to the north, and then showers and storms scattered about on Friday. And it looks as though that will continue through the weekend. Look for that activity to wind down throughout the evening. Well, in the tropics, we continue to watch this area here. Not a concern, but it will change our weather a little bit as it's moving through the northern Bahamas right now. And then that line stretches all the way out to near our new hurricane. This is Hurricane Ophelia, and 10 consecutive hurricanes this season. That ties a record set back in 1893. And you can see the eye well defined here. And this is unusual to have a hurricane this strong, or at least a hurricane well east in the Atlantic. And it's heading off, believe it or not, toward Ireland. It's going to go to Ireland. That's right. Top winds now at 75 miles an hour. It's moving to the east at 3, and the pressure is at 990 millibars. Now, this is the cone of uncertainty. It was headed toward Portugal, but now it's going to change as it makes a bend off to the north. It will become an extratropical low in about 3 days from now and then move off toward the north, right toward Ireland. It could have winds up to 70 miles an hour, and it's not going to be a hurricane, but it could be a very damaging storm for the folks there in Ireland. Well, water temperatures remain warm all throughout the Western Caribbean. And look at this in the Pacific. It was 89 degrees right there off of Mexico. So still very warm in the Western Caribbean and the Eastern Pacific. So we'll watch those areas as we move into the latter half of this hurricane season. For boaters, it looks like this. Northeast winds at 10 knots. Seas will be 1 to 2 feet and a light chop out there. Water temperature warm, 85 degrees. UV index will be high 10 tomorrow. Tides upcoming Sarasota Bay on your screen. Sunset at 7:05. Sunrise at 7:29. Mostly fair. An isolated sprinkle, 73 for a low tomorrow. Expect more of the same, just a slight chance for a late day shower. And the extended forecast calling for increasing rain chance on Friday at 50%. The same Saturday and Sunday, a little less on Monday. And then still, temperatures staying at near or above average right through Wednesday. Scott?
All right, Bob, thank you. In first alert traffic right now, I-75 is moving smoothly, both north and south, all green on the map at this hour. But we do have reports of a crash in Sarasota. It's on 17th Street at the intersection of Lockwood Ridge Road, so may want to avoid that area. And remember, you can get updates on road conditions or crashes on the Suncoast 24 hours a day just by downloading our app. Just search for ABC7 Sarasota. You'll get notifications about crashes and road closures sent directly to your smartphone. Jacqueline?
In health news tonight, a solution to help improve vision for people with hereditary blindness may soon be available. The Food and Drug Administration is considering whether to recommend approval of a gene therapy. The therapy would be the first of its kind in the U.S. for an inherited disease and the first in which a corrective gene is given directly to a patient. The FDA must make a decision by January 18th. Well, in honor of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, some kids and adults on the Suncoast who are undergoing cancer treatment are getting a little bit of an extra special treat. Patients at the Johns Hopkins All Children's Outpatient Center off Clark Road in Sarasota were given gift bags filled with goodies. Those treats are all part of ESPN sportscaster Dick Vitale and Mercedes-Benz of Sarasota's larger initiative.
Let's face reality, I've been blessed in my life. I've lived a life that's probably exceeded any dream, financially, every other way. And you like to, in the latter stages of your life, be able to give back and try to bring a smile to someone else's face in chasing their dreams. And there's nothing worse than watching a mom and dad watch their child suffering.
AutoNation's Drive Pink initiative has raised more than $11 million to fund cancer-related nonprofits and research into finding a cure. Coming up, a worker's worst nightmare. What happened to a construction worker when a truck tipped over a busy Florida bypass. Plus, how tattoos may one day represent much more than your artsy side. Those stories when we come back.
Today, everyone is looking for carpeting that lasts longer. G. Fried has you covered with Karastan. With a legacy of quality and integrity, we provide you with a huge selection of Karastan carpets with exclusive lifetime limited warranties. All installed by our highly skilled, highly knowledgeable team. Come ask us why Karastan is the best and most durable. G. Fried Flooring America. Our world is at your feet.
Are you currently on Medicare? In other words, do you carry the red, white, and blue Medicare card? If so, are you suffering from chronic back pain? If you answered yes, you may be eligible for a pain-relieving back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost, shipped directly to your home for free. These medical-grade back braces are ideal for lower back pain, arthritis, spinal disorders, and other chronic back problems. Our accredited staff will handle all of the Medicare paperwork for free, and best of all, your brace is shipped directly to your home for free. Don't let chronic lower back pain slow you down. Get moving and stay active with a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare at little to no cost. We also accept Blue Cross Blue Shield, United Healthcare, Aetna, Humana, and other insurance. Will you qualify for a medical-grade back brace covered by Medicare? Find out for free.
Call Back Brace America at 1-800-715-0835. That's 1-800-715-0835, 1-800-715-0835.
Is your mop a dirty, disgusting mess? You need the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System, the only mop and bucket that spins the dirt away. A system that cleans practically anything and everything with super absorbent microfiber. Dip it in the washer side and the mess releases into the bucket. Then place it in the dryer side and push on the pedal. You get a clean mop head that's practically dry and ready for more. And your hands will never again touch a dirty, disgusting mop. The heads are washable and reusable. Get the Hurricane 360 Spin Mop System for just 2 payments of $19.99. You'll also get a Sticky Buddy, the reusable sticky roller that picks up pet hair and lint and washes clean in seconds. You can take advantage of our 2-for-1 Pick It Up special and get a second spin mop set. Just pay additional shipping and fee. And we'll upgrade you to free priority handling. So don't wait. Order now.
Call 1-800-394-1524 to get your Hurricane Spin Mop double offer. So hurry and call 1-800-394-1524. Call now.
For the last decade, S&S Motorsports of Sarasota has built custom high-performance vehicles for demanding clients worldwide. They're now bringing their 50-plus years of combined build expertise to the parts business. SRQ Performance Parts is your one-stop shop for all your performance parts and accessories.
ABC 7 News at 7, weeknights.
A construction worker is recovering tonight after a heart-pounding fall from a crane onto a Miami expressway. The worker tumbled onto the road, narrowly missed moving vehicles after that truck and crane tipped over. The worker was operating the crane from controls on the side of the vehicle when the incident happened, sending him off the overpass. The man was taken to the hospital in critical condition. Take a look at this time-lapse video. A NASA astronaut posted this video from the International Space Station. Those flashes of light you see are actually lightning strikes over the California coastline. The lights gave astronauts their own fireworks show from high above.
Well, if you're into body art, your next tattoo might be able to help track your health. Researchers at Harvard Medical School and MIT have designed new tattoo ink that changes colors according to your biochemistry. For example, if your glucose levels increase, the green in your tattoo will instead darken to brown. The team used pig skin samples to test the ink, and they're hoping the innovation will help people better monitor their health. Busch Gardens of Tampa Bay is honoring first responders. From now until November 24th, they can get into the park for free. They can also get 4 tickets for family and friends at 50% off. The theme park's general manager says the special offer is one way they can show appreciation for first responders' dedication to the communities they call home. Very well deserved.
That's a really good deal.
Yeah,
save a lot of money.
Still to come on your Suncoast News, a month after Hurricane Irma hit the Sunshine State, we continue to learn more about the extent of destruction.
Look at how Florida's citrus crops and its bee population fared coming up.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
You studied hard, went to college, and achieved your dream, but it turned into a financial nightmare. If you have federal student loans and you'd like to reduce your payments, get more time, or have your loans completely eliminated, then we have good news. With one call to Student Loan Relief Services, you can find support and guidance. We've already helped thousands of people, and we can help you too. If you have $10,000 or more in federal student loans, you can qualify for payment extensions, payment reductions, or you may qualify to have your federal student loan completely forgiven. Call Student Loan Relief Services now to find out about your options. Take control of your finances and get out from under this burden. One of our student loan experts has the answers to your questions and great solutions to ease your financial burden. We're here for you. Call Student Loan Relief Services now.
Call 800-759-0203, 800-759-0203.
They're coming from Tampa, Fort Myers, even Orlando. They're coming from everywhere for the Sarasota Ford Promise. We promise we're more than a dealership. We're a destination with a movie theater, massage room, aquarium, cafe, and more. We promise to give you top dollar for your trade, even if you don't buy from us. And if you do, we promise you the best deal. Bring us any competitor's ad and we'll beat it by at least $1,000. That's why they're coming from everywhere to Sarasota Ford, where 41 meets 301. SarasotaFord.com.
Listen to this important message. If you owe money to the IRS, you will want to hear this. The IRS is cracking down on those who owe back taxes. They send out devastating letters, garnish paychecks, and even put liens on your home or business. You may have heard of it. It's called enforced compliance. Penalties and interest compound daily on your back taxes, putting you under a mountain of debt. Tax 10,000 has years of experience connecting people with tax resolution specialists who will negotiate with the IRS on your behalf. Working through the IRS Fresh Start program, they will handle all the necessary forms and can negotiate a tax settlement with the IRS. It's that simple. And if you qualify, you may end up saving thousands of dollars, finally ending your financial stress. Now is the time for a fresh start. Now is the time to call Tax 10,000. 800-699-3188. That's 800-699-3188. Call now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Live from our studios on Florida's Suncoast, this is ABC 7 News at 5:30. Your Suncoast News. We're here for you.
Welcome back. Now to the desperate need for help with recovering from Hurricane Irma.
Governor Rick Scott meeting with the Florida congressional delegation in Washington, D.C. to see what federal resources can be made available to help the state recover. Representatives Vern Buchanan of the Suncoast and Elsie Hastings attended the meeting. It focused on Florida's citrus industry, which accounted for more than $760 million in agricultural losses. The U.S. House will consider a disaster aid bill later this week that would provide $36.5 billion in emergency funding for hurricane relief efforts.
And here on the Suncoast, many operating citrus groves and shops are hurting because of the storm. Farmers and fruit growers are now assessing the damage, which will likely be significant. ABC 7's Dwayne Lindo tells us about the impact to our local crops.
All right, total is $16.60.
Here at Fruitville Grove in Sarasota, pumpkins are now the flavor of the month. But they're still dealing with the damage Hurricane Irma has inflicted on Florida's citrus industry.
In different areas, anywhere from mildly affected to very severely affected.
Owner Kim White says her crops were severely affected.
With all of that wind, it literally shakes the green fruit right off the trees.
And it shows. 16 acres of citrus trees are completely bare. White says the damage it's done is unprecedented.
It's to the point of being devastating for some.
And says it won't be only business owners feeling the repercussions of the storm.
We will struggle this year. It will be very, very difficult. You can expect probably higher prices.
And not only were orange groves affected, but beehives were affected as well. Honeybees are used to pollinate many of Florida's state crops.
They pollinate everything they're near. So without that, the whole world would collapse.
Sarasota company My Sweetest Honey owner Sean Knepp handles bees and bottles honey. He says although floodwaters destroyed many beehives around the state, there's still a light at the end of the tunnel.
Fortunately, the bee population, I feel, is doing quite fine. They proliferate like rabbits, so while we may quite often have severe losses, we can quadruple our numbers every year if we would like.
But as for crops, it may take a bit longer.
But it might take, as many as 2 to 3 years to kind of get everything back up to the original quantities that we had pre-Hurricane Irma, because it really is that affecting.
Kim White also points out that we're likely to see even greater economic losses as they account for the loss of future production and that the huge cost to rebuild infrastructure.
The fronds of some palm trees in our area are becoming discolored, and agriculture officials say it's because of a new disease killing those trees. It's called the Texas Phoenix palm decline. It was first identified in trees in Sarasota and Tampa areas back in 2006, affecting Phoenix palm tree species. This disease spreads naturally to trees by sap-feeding insects like plant hoppers. If trees show a majority of discolored or dead leaves because of the disease, they need to be removed to prevent spreading. Landscapers can protect trees with antibiotic injections, but some plant experts say the source of healthy trees begins with some TLC.
The biggest thing is care of the tree. Like any insect or any disease, the healthier the tree, just like us, I try to humanize things, the healthier you are, the more you're able to fight these things.
Coming up tonight on ABC 7 News at 7, we'll show you where you can find the trees that are most commonly affected by this deadly disease.
A new medical marijuana clinic will open this month in Northport. It's a cannabis physician's office that specializes in helping patients get evaluations and recommendations for medical marijuana. By the end of last month, over 36,000 Floridians had registered for medical marijuana. Medical Marijuana Treatment Clinics of Florida has 10 other clinics around the state. And soon we will likely see medical marijuana treatment centers and cannabis dispensing facilities pop up in Northport. Northport commissioners approved the facilities in their meeting yesterday. It was an extension of their decision back in March, which allowed these types of centers to operate within city limits. Commissioners also clarified the rules so that they are in line with the state, which requires a 500-foot buffer from schools. The first medical marijuana treatment center in Northport will open on October 19th.
Sarasota County's Parks and Recreation and Natural Resources Division approving nearly $32,000 to go towards Mote Marine Lab's Strandings Investigation Program. That money will be available for the new fiscal year. The grant will help with Mote's efforts to rescue and care for stranded animals, including dolphins and sea turtles. It will also help Marine fund studies on animals that have been found dead.
Well, let's check in with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan for a look at your first alert forecast.
Right now, we're looking at some showers down to our south, but not much going on here. A few isolated cells here and there have been breaking out, some light to moderate rainfall. But look, it's pretty quiet across Hardee, DeSoto, into Sarasota and Manatee counties, with the exception of this one area now, and I'm moving across, looks like Longboat Key, just between Whitney Beach and Longboat Key Club, and it's heading off to the west, so it won't be around long. You can see it had moved through Bayshore Gardens just about 15-20 minutes ago. And currently at the airport, we do have partly cloudy skies, 87 degrees on the temperature, and the dew point 70. Winds are out of the northeast, and it looks as though we will see a pretty nice evening. Just a few clouds around. These isolated showers that have been popping up here and there are very isolated, and it looks as though those will be winding down here fairly soon. 74 for the temperature by 11 o'clock tonight. So we'll be down in the low 70s to start things off throughout the day tomorrow. The GOES satellite indicating this area of concern here in terms of moisture, clouds, and some showers, a few thunderstorms embedded within this area heading off to the west. It's going to continue its track all the way to the southwest Gulf of Mexico over time, but what it will do is it'll bring this trail of moisture right on into west central Florida beginning on Friday and continuing over the weekend, so our rain chances will be going up just a little bit. Temperatures right now unseasonably warm, upper 80s to low 90s. It's 90 in Northport now, 90 in Punta Gorda, and the Gulf water temperature now at 85. We'll have more on your forecast in just a few minutes. Back to you.
Bob, thank you. A show of force in North Korea overnight. The U.S. military flying bombers over the peninsula. ABC's Serena Marshall has a reaction to that move.
As North Korea slept, American B-1 bombers flying missions over the Sea of Japan, side by side with South Korean and Japanese fighters. The North Korean foreign minister responding this morning. Russia's state media reporting he said President Trump has lit the wick of war, and we need to settle the final score only with a hail of fire, not words. President Trump's used similar words in the past, saying they could face fire and fury. Today, he said when it comes to North Korea, his attitude is the only one that matters.
It's the way it works. That's the way the system is. But I think I might have a somewhat different attitude and a different way than other people. I think perhaps I feel stronger and tougher on that subject than other people. But I listen to everybody.
America's attitude, though, 65% of Americans think President Trump's comments have made the situation between the U.S. and North Korea worse, according to a new AP poll. As Washington faces off with the threat from the east, another threat, thought partially contained through diplomacy, reigniting. The president's decision on the Iran nuclear deal expected this week.
You're going to see very soon. We're going to be announcing that very shortly.
When it comes to the deal, strong words from the top Republican on the House Foreign Affairs Committee.
As flawed as the deal is, I believe we must now enforce the hell out of it.
With tensions soaring, a South Korean lawmaker has revealed North Korea hacked U.S.-South Korean war plans, not through skill, but negligence. The lawmaker speaking out to make sure it doesn't happen again. The Pentagon only saying that they are confident in their ability to contain North Korea. Serena Marshall, ABC News, Washington.
An exhibit that shows the human side of war and combat is now on display at the Ringling Museum of Art in Sarasota. The exhibit is titled Aftermath: The Fallout of War, America in the Middle East. It includes photography and video art created in response to the conflicts that have erupted in the Middle East over the past 15 years. The 90 photographs and 2 videos create conversation starters about the people who have been caught up in the aftermath of war in Iraq, Afghanistan, Syria, Lebanon, and other countries.
With the Syrian refugee crisis, this was also something that brought the visibility of refugees and what's happening to people to the fore. And I felt like as a curator, I had something to say from deep within myself that I wanted to share with people.
You can check out the exhibit starting this Sunday through January 21st.
With little discussion, a House panel approving a bill today that would lead to the creation of a slavery memorial at the Florida Capitol. The House Oversight, Transparency and Administration Subcommittee approved the measure, which has been filed for the 2018 legislative session. The bill would direct the Department of Management Services to develop a plan for a slavery memorial at the Capitol complex and to consider recommendations from the Florida Historical Commission. The department would also oversee that memorial.
This is not to glorify slavery. This is simply to recognize the work and the contributions that these men and women have made to this society.
A similar measure passed the House unanimously last session but did not advance out of the Senate.
Crews have completed a rainbow-colored crosswalk near the Pulse nightclub in Orlando. Thousands of people signed a petition asking the city of Orlando to create that crosswalk as a colorful memorial to the victims of the June 2016 shooting. It's on the street just south of where it was and where a gunman killed 49 people. That shooting was considered the worst mass shooting in modern U.S. history until this month's shooting in Las Vegas, and a great memorial there. I know they're working for other efforts as well to have a memorial.
Permanent one, yeah.
Well, still to come on your Suncoast News, it's not just America seeing an increase in childhood obesity.
We'll take a look at global trends and body mass index coming up.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
I was always worried and scared. Mom was in pain. She wasn't going to get any better, and all the trips to the ER were painful for all of us. Then we called Tidewell Hospice, and everything changed. Now she has care in our home when she needs it, surrounded by family. We know we don't have much time left with Mom, but we decided to make the best out of that time. Tidewell Hospice, it's more than you think.
Need more space in your place? The More Space Place can help with Murphy beds that disappear to reveal a home office, living room, or den. Custom closets with designated areas for your shoes, bags, wardrobe, and accessories. Custom-built entertainment centers, garage storage systems, and more. The More Space Place has 3 showrooms next to Sonny's on US 41 South in Sarasota, on Lakewood Ranch Boulevard just south of State Route 64 in Bradenton, and on Tamiami Trail next to Panera Bread in Port Charlotte. Put more space in your place at the More Space Place.
Let me introduce you to the ultimate Florida window. Do you feel safer with this or this? You'll be proud too.
Buy more, save more. Volume discounts on 4 or more windows.
40 million. That's the number of free phones still available and the number of how many Americans can still get prescriptions free.
Free could be wonderful.
That's why I'm still working at 77 years old to pay off my prescriptions.
I needed to have a prescription filled and I had to leave because I couldn't afford it.
Call now and see what's available for you. Free prescriptions. Over 10 million people get prescriptions free, and the program has expanded so another 40 million can. Free dental. Over 15,000 dentists have provided over $330 million in free dental work. Free cell phones. 40 million free cell phones are still available with free minutes and more.
Free cell phone would change my life right now because it is something I cannot afford to get.
Medical supplies like back braces, knee braces, and diabetic supplies may be covered too. The free RX Plus hotline has saved callers over $12 million on their prescription costs. These free programs are now available to 40 million more people. Call now.
There's never been a better time to call California Closets. Now during our autumn upgrade event, save up to 20% when you upgrade to an Italian-inspired wood grain finish. Contact us for your free design consultation today. Visit our showroom or online at californiaclosets.com.
Childhood obesity is a growing problem, and not only here in the United States. ABC's Arlette Saenz takes a look at the unhealthy trend.
Whether it's junk food, a sedentary lifestyle, or other factors, there's something about the world our kids are growing up in today that is making them fat. Lending weight to this fact, a new study this week revealing childhood obesity has been on the rise worldwide. An international team of researchers writing in the journal Lancet, looking at height and weight data for more than 31 million children living in 200 different countries. What they found? A 10-fold increase in obesity since 1975. The past 4 decades, seeing the number of obese girls increasing from 5 million to 50 million. The number of obese boys surging from 6 million to 74 million worldwide. The U.S. among the countries with more than 1 in 5 kids obese. So how do we stop this unhealthy trend? Small steps, like limiting children's intake of high-calorie, non-nutritious foods, encourage exercise, and don't be afraid to ask about nutrition and weight gain during visits to the pediatrician. With this Medical Minute, I'm Arlette Saenz, ABC News.
Now your ABC 7 First Alert weather forecast with Chief Meteorologist Bob Harrigan.
Well, hello everyone. KCK webcam showing a beautiful this day today from this morning through the afternoon. Rather calm seas running less than 2 feet out there, especially with an east wind near the coast. KCK got their camera back, by the way. It got damaged during Hurricane Irma and was stuck right there when the big winds were coming through. But now things are back to normal, and so is the camera. Some showers around to the south and east of our area right now associated with this upper level feature, which is good news. It's an upper level low as opposed to a surface one, because then we'll be talking about tropics, but no, not a big concern right now. It will bring some tropical moisture our way though, and that will give us a better chance for some showers and some thunderstorms come more so on Friday and through the weekend. It's not going to be a washout, but we will see some increased activity. Right now we're seeing very isolated showers up and down the coast, as we have for the past couple of days now, and you can see that working its way to the west. One just clearing Longboat Key now. Another one possibly up near northwest Bradenton, heading off toward Anna Marie Island, but not much. 87 degrees right now. We have just a few clouds. The dew point is at 70 and the relative humidity 57%. Northeast winds are at 8 and the pressure 2993, which is 1 degree above standard pressure. The high temperature today was 91, well above the average of 86 degrees. And yesterday was 92. Today it was 91. We'll be closer to this number, I think, by midweek next week. We'll start to get a little cooler, but we're not going to chill out at all. 94 is the record high set back in 2009. This morning's low was 73. That too running high. Typically we're in the upper 60s for this time of year. 0.08 of an inch of rainfall. We need to dry out a little bit, and that's all we've had thus far for the month and for the year now. Well above average, and it will stay that way because we are already above average for the entire year, even through November and December. Temperature is expected to be into the upper 80s tomorrow, so we will be slightly above average. We'll have just a few clouds around, and mention a few sprinkles on Thursday afternoon and Thursday evening. Well, you can see from the Futurecast of one forecast model indicating that the moisture will be bottled up and mainly down to our south tomorrow with a few showers down there. It starts to encroach on Friday, though. You'll start to see a few more showers and storms scattered about, moving off to the west at 10 miles an hour. And that rain chance for football Friday night will stay into the 30% chance range, it looks like, through the games on Friday night. So 30%, not all that great, but still there will be a few around. Well, the tropical tracker, hopefully we get rid of this map pretty soon here. When a cold front comes through, and a couple of them, they move through the Gulf of Mexico and the Caribbean, then the season is for the most part over. We haven't had that yet, so we got to keep an eye out down there. You can see this long stretch of clouds. That's the moisture that I mentioned, which will be streaming in our direction over the upcoming days. And here it is, the 10th consecutive hurricane to form in a row. These are unbelievable, this statistic on this, and it looks as though this could go down as the top hurricane season. If we have a couple more storms form, we're talking the top hurricane season in terms of energy generated by these storms. This is going to head off to the north and northeast eventually. Top winds are at 75. It's moving slowly to the east. Chance could get a little stronger as it makes its way to the northeast up to 80 miles an hour. Then it becomes extra tropical, and then look, it goes right toward Ireland with winds up to 70 miles an hour. It won't be a tropical storm, but it'll be a storm to be reckoned with. Now, this area of low pressure continues to move across the Ohio Valley and off toward the northeast, and the associated cold front is now stationary right over north central Florida, so it's not going to cool things down. Northeast winds at 10 knots, and seas will be less than 2 feet, light chop out there. Water temperature at 85, the UV index at 10, that'll be high. Tides upcoming, high tide at, again, 4:59. And sunset at 7:05. Tonight, a few sprinkles, mostly fair, 73. Tomorrow, a 20% chance for a shower, warm and dry, 89 for a high. The extended forecast does call for better chances for showers scattered about right through the weekend with highs remaining above average. Back to you.
All right, thank you, Bob. Time now to check your first alert traffic for the drive home. The interstate still in the green, looking good if you're heading home. However, we are seeing an accident on Cortez Road that has blocked a lane at 37th Street, so keep that in mind if you're heading out the door.
Despite the huge number of people who evacuated before the recent hurricanes, JetBlue Airlines reports the storms cost it more than $100 million in lost revenue. The airline flies to many destinations in Florida and the Caribbean, where several airports were closed due to storm damage. Another sign that Sears continues to struggle. After filing for bankruptcy in June, Sears Canada is planning to close its remaining 130 stores. About 12,000 employees will lose their jobs, and their benefits will end as soon as they are terminated. The company is also asking for court permission to liquidate all of its assets. One Sears executive blamed the situation on the current state of the retail market.
Well, if you want a handbag with the Coach signature name on it, you may want to hit the mall or online stores now. The Coach Company of New York is changing its name to Tapestry to better incorporate all of the brands that it owns. The name change will take place at the end of the month. And if you own stock in the company or want to in the future, Coach Incorporated will also be changing its ticker symbol on the New York Stock Exchange from COH to TPR.
I don't know. That's a valuable name, Coach. Everybody knows what it is.
Pretty expensive as well.
Yeah. Entertainment news is next.
Attention type 2 diabetics. The FDA warns of an increased risk of amputation associated with certain diabetes medications. If you took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation or one of these other serious injuries, call the Rely On Group right now. If you've suffered amputation or any of these injuries after taking your diabetes medication, call the Rely On Group today. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. The FDA has recently warned about an increased risk of leg and foot amputations associated with the use of certain diabetic medications such as Invokana and Invokamet. If you or a loved one took the diabetes medications Invokana or Invokamet and then suffered an amputation, ketoacidosis, kidney failure, or even death, call the Rely On Group now. We are here to help you get the justice you deserve. You may be entitled to substantial financial compensation. Call 800-355-8205. That's 800-355-8205.
Is your old garage door stuck or broken? Would a new one give you a lift? Let Precision Door Overhead Garage Door Service of Sarasota come to the rescue with prompt and affordable repair service. Replacement doors come with an array of styles and colors, and they are rated to meet and exceed Florida standards. From estimates to installation, your satisfaction is our priority. If you're not 100% satisfied with any product, service, or installation, we will make it right, because Precision Door Service is a name you can trust.
Why settle for less? Get more for your money at Sunset Subaru in Sarasota. Subaru is the best overall brand for 2 years running and the most trusted brand for 3 years running, according to Kelley Blue Book's KBB.com. Right now, you can lease one of Subaru's most versatile vehicles, the Subaru Crosstrek, for as little as $199 a month, or get 2.9% financing with complimentary maintenance included. Get more for your money. Go to Sunset Subaru in Sarasota.
SRQ Performance Parts provides parts and accessories from over 300 manufacturers, so you can get that new manifold, carburetor, gasket, bolt kit, or nitrous oxide system fast. We'll help you beat the competition. Call or visit SRQ Performance Parts online today for all your high-performance parts and advice.
Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Make your holidays sparkle with style. Browse our amazing showroom, cute collectible cottages, and beautiful Christmas displays. Find the inspiration, selection, and quality you need to deck the halls merry and bright. Christmas Traditions also features the area's largest selection of quality pre-lit Christmas trees, every size, shape, and color, and plenty of decorations to make your home shine for the holidays. Christmas Traditions by LuxArt Silks, where more is merrier. Visit us on New 301, just a quarter-mile north of University Parkway.
Now to new allegations about Harvey Weinstein.
Stars like Gwyneth Paltrow and Angelina Jolie are now coming forward saying they also received unwanted sexual advances from the movie mogul. The Weinstein Company board of directors say it's shocked and dismayed over those allegations. Several members of the all-male board have since resigned. Nearly 20 women have now come forward, and allegations now include rape. Former President Barack Obama released a statement saying he's disgusted by the recent reports about Weinstein and that the woman who had the courage to come forward and tell these painful stories should be celebrated.
Others had to come out first. Keep in mind, I was terrified when it first happened. I didn't want anyone to know about this publicly. I just wanted, to go along living my life. I wanted to pretend it never happened and hopefully never see him again, because Harvey Weinstein wielded so much power. I'm not even an actress in Hollywood, but I thought one phone call from Harvey Weinstein, I could have lost my job. I could have been prevented from getting hired somewhere else if he wanted to do that.
Harvey Weinstein's wife, Georgina Chapman, has announced she is leaving her husband.
But Weinstein isn't completely without allies during this scandal. Actress Lindsay Lohan says she feels very bad for the producer. Lohan made the comments in a since-deleted Instagram video. In it, she said that she has done several movies with Weinstein and he never harmed her. Lohan has been sharply criticized on social media over that video.
A new documentary about anxiety is based around the claim that everyone suffers from stress and social fear. And to make their point, the filmmakers have enlisted the most decorated Olympian in history. Michael Phelps is set to appear in the indie flick Angst to share his story of being bullied and depressed. That film is expected to be screened at schools and community centers.
You may know Jonathan Groff from Glee or the Hamilton musical, but the actor is working on a darker role in a new Netflix series called Mindhunter. He plays an FBI behavioral scientist who specializes in the study of serial killers. You can catch that series starting Friday the 13th.
Well, the Smithsonian's National Museum of American History is housing memorabilia donated by the Walking Dead cast. A total of 8 items were donated, including some costumes and Daryl's crossbow. The Walking Dead is in its 8th season and is about to air its 100th episode.
The couple behind HGTV's Fixer Upper show is opening up about why they are ending the program after its 5th season. In an interview with People magazine, Chip and Joanna Gaines cite the grueling 11-month production schedule as a reason for that show's end. Chip Gaines says the show is demanding time from him that he needs to be giving to the couple's businesses, relationship, and family. Fixer Upper follows the couple as they redo houses near their Waco, Texas home, and season 5, the last one, will premiere next month.
I'm sure that put a big toll on their family relationship, but rightfully so, they were able to do that.
We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.